Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and yes, Season 22 brings us those cool TV glasses, but as well, a lot of bags. So topic of today's video are new bags, old bags but still present, and known workarounds. Workarounds are important, as you know how annoying the bags is and can absolutely ruin your gameplay. I listed 10 bags on my handy list, the checklist what I should be talking about. So let's start going. First, the stat log. The stat log is still a thing. What the stat log is, like for example awareness and other stuff, is not updating. I have a full video explaining it, and yeah, it's still present exactly as in this video. I will show you a quick workaround that I am using, and as well a workaround for a new bug introduced with this patch, similar to the stat log, and that's not working per card, so disabling itself per card. And for example, it's not the only this one. There's like a handful of per cards that will keep disabling itself when you enter a new world. Like when you start your game, they will just not work. And as well, when you exit or enter power armor, which is super annoying, they will switch themselves off too. Tightly wound is one of those examples. You spawn into the world, it's not working. You enter or exit power armor, it's not working. Now, what's the combined workaround for both stat lock and this new perk cards not working? So I want to run in power armor. So first you need to enter power armor. Make sure you are wearing what you want to wear when you will be playing. So I'm jumping into this power armor. And I'm starting from that, that's the most important. You can know the stat lock is in effect as my health bar is so wonky, and if I open the stat page, awareness didn't change even though I'm no longer wearing any unyielding armor. So that everything is kicking in. Now, the workaround. We access the special loadout, and it doesn't really matter what other loadout is, we just switch to something else and back. Of course, there is a downside of that. All stacks of the bullet storm in the process will be lost. All stacks, so we need to keep getting stacks over again. So recommended, avoid exiting power armor if there is no need to do that. As much as it's possible, do not exit power armor. Now, after you enter, it's not yet everything. From that point, you need to use some kind of the food that can boost your health. In my case, I need to refresh all the buffs, so I would be usually when I spawn to the world, I would be doing that, refreshing all my buffs, including all the food that I'm using. But important is to, I did too much rats, that's the wrong item. Important is to use something that affects your health. It can be a hot dog if you have one, I don't, or it can be a pemmican. And that fixes, as you can see, alignment of the health bar, usually works. Or it will be close enough to being properly fixed. After you fast travel from this spot, the stat lock will be still a thing, so make sure that your health is proper. And in example, if I'm using Nocturnal, I crouch, so my awareness bonus is kicking. I check if my nerd rage is acceptable before I fast travel, as after I fast travel, it will stop updating. So let's move to some different spot and cover other bugs. Over encumbered, wait a second. Smoke Mylok filet, I forgot. And now just to show you it's all working, here the stats are locked as I wanted them, and in the same time, are perks working? Let's see, let's start firing. 1, and it's firing again. 1, firing. So 1 second after I press the button, it's firing. And if this card would not be working, so let's unequip it, that switches it off, it will be 1, 2. So you can see twice as long before it starts firing. So this workaround does work. If I would exit now my power armor, it would break perks again. So avoid doing that until Bethesda will implement better fix. Next bug is like 2 bugs in one. If you cannot enter your power armor, let's say you place your power armor down, but for whatever reason, you are not able to enter it. Like you are trying, nothing is happening, so that's one bug. Or other bug, you are going under your workbench and you are trying to scrap stuff. I don't actually have anything here, but You are trying to scrap something on the new tab, and it keeps jumping on top of the list. Like I'm scrapping here, it will jump back up on top. I had that bug couple times, and the fix surprisingly for both of those, so jumping scrap list and not being able to enter power armor is the same. And the fix for that is you go under your ammo tab and you need to drop all fusion cores that you carry. Then you pick them up, but you need to drop all. The full fusion cores and partially full fusion cores, all of them need to go for a moment and then pick them back up, and that fixes both bugs. Surprisingly, both bugs, the same fix. And now bug related to VATS. Like if you like to play in third-person view, so camera over a shoulder, tough luck for you here. Because with changes to the rule of VATS, you need line of sight. And what Bethesda mean by line of sight is line of sight from the camera to the enemy. So for example, if I target this super mutant, I move right, my VATS hit chance drop to 0, and I cut off my own VATS, you see? Drops to 0 because my character is covering line of sight. Yeah, I know how hilarious it is, but not so fun. So for now, recommended in first person. You still can somehow a little bit obstruct your target with yourself. Like if I'm too close, you can see it's dropping. So it is still possible, and now I'm flying from the explosion, but that's the bug. I did notice some reports as well of items unlocking themselves while being repaired. That didn't happen to me, so I don't know if that's console-specific thing or not. Let me know if you had a bug with this lock being removed by repairing the weapon. I did not. My lock's working perfectly so far, so I just noticed this report. I don't know how widespread it may be. One important thing, especially if you are using food, double check when you are spawning to new world if your camp spawn. I had it already happen to me that I spawned into the world, there was no message, nothing, but my camp was not placed. How you check? Looking at the icon is not good enough. You need to click on it and see if there is fast travel option. If there is no fast travel option, your camp didn't spawn, therefore your freezer is not placed, and your food inside the freezer will spoil when it's not placed. So be careful here. Next bug is related to very cool feature what's supposed to be self-revive and instantaneous revive to use all those cool new perk cards like Revenant, Spiritual Healer. The thing is, all those perk cards are triggering when revive's supposed to happen, with one small problem. Quite often revive is not happening. All the cards or the pop-ups or the animation appear on the screen, but you are still dead nevertheless. That's the reason I'm not currently using EMT on any of my builds. Sometimes it works, but quite often it doesn't. And that was not a thing on the public test server. It was working when they initially introduced that, but then they somehow broke it. So I don't know what happened, but it's not working very well right now. All self-revive effects and other player revive, all the new instantaneous effects are affected. In regards to camp, some people reported that camp is over budget. My camp is fine, so I don't really know what is actually triggering that. And to show you last one, I will need to exit power armor, so my perks will break. Just to show you how easy they break, let me grab the Peppa Shaker again. Fire, 1, and firing. Now I exit power armor. That breaks all my perks. I mean, not all. A bunch of my perks. Now, 1, 2. Twice as long before it starts firing. All the fixed workaround would need to be reapplied. And lastly, very important one, two-shot bug, which is not just a two-shot bug. It's a multi-projectile bug affecting all weapons with more than one projectile and explosive effect. What it does, I can show you on the workbench, as it's the best visible on this missile launcher. So my two-shot missile launcher, if I go under legendary effect, look what's happening if I decide to change it. Why is that? That's because two-shot currently is bugged, and I was trying to figure out what's going on. After reading a lot of posts about it, I'm leaning towards theory that says that Bethesda attempted to fix two-shot, giving launchers way too high bonus, way higher than intended. Instead of giving them 75% damage bonus, it was 75% and then double the total. So that was way more than intended. Bethesda was trying to nail that down, and in result, what it does now. Now it adds 75% damage at first, but then instead of dividing the number by 2, like it's supposed to be because 2 projectiles, it's dividing by 4. So that's how you are losing so much damage. It's being divided by 4. In case of explosive shotguns that have 8 projectiles, instead of being divided by 8, it will be divided by 16. That's Gauss shotgun, for example. And it does affect explosive damage when you modify Gauss Mini with a pentabarrel. A pentabarrel is like built-in two-shot effect, so the two-shot explosive bag will come with it. If you have a weapon like, for example, 50 cal, that does not have any explosive effect, and then I install two-shot, it will be fine. It will add damage as intended. The bug only affects explosion, explosive portion of the damage. In case of the launcher, it's all the damage as there is no impact damage. In case of 50 cal without explosive effect, there is no impact as there is no explosion at all, and impact damage surprisingly works normally. So Bethesda was trying to fix explosive damage, and in result, they broke it. So that's the two-shot, aka multi-projectile explosive bug. I hope it's clear. I know it can be a little bit confusing, but that's what it stands at this moment. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. Let me know if you experience some different bugs or if you do have a better workaround. I'm always open for better workarounds. And that being said, thank you a lot for watching and see you all in the next one.